Hello, and in this video I'm building a Japanese inspired junction or intersection, and this is very similar to a intersection in real life in downtown Tokyo. I wanted to build this intersection because it was fairly complicated and it was interesting looking in the way that there is a train line running through the middle with two crossings and many overlapping roads. I thought it would be an interesting way to use some new techniques that I've learned, especially the one that Noguchi has been discovered. I guess that's the correct word. Well, he's used a lot recently, and it was a good excuse to use that 3 times, I think. Yeah, I used it 3 times. 2 for crossing the main train lines, and 1 as a sort of underpass for a road, which actually turned out like the best part of this intersection, or at least in my opinion, it looked the best part. It looked so nice. I spent the most time and effort working on it, I would say. So it's probably why it looked the best. But I always find that I always stick to a certain area and just build that area out a lot, and then sort of go, oh, I've spent the 70% of the time building this one small tiny area. I probably should build the other parts. So I guess that's really why sometimes I find that my builds look a bit strange, because I do one part extremely detailed, and then the rest of it, if I get bored, which I would say is 60% of the time in builds that I'm doing, I will get bored of the build, and well, then I'll have to force myself to do it, and usually it doesn't look as good as it would normally. So just talk a little bit on what's happening on the video. Here is where I'm sinking the railway down, and I found the best way to get a good height and a good distance, not to use the page up and page down tool with the actual road or rail elevation, but to use move it to then move the entire rail set down at once. And you also get to use the roads that have been left up with the Noguchi technique, and you can do it that way instead of having to faff around with forcing them to ground and stuff, and it gets annoying. You'd have to remove the rails and do it again. So that's sort of why I did it that way around. It's easier. So now I'm covering up all the markings on the road with poppable asphalt. I do this for quite a lot of the area, and I also do this to cover up the terrible marks that are left on the bridges from having them forced to ground when they're actually elevated. But I explained that a lot in my previous build. So it's not too difficult to do, and it gives you a lot of extra things you can do with builds. So now you can use technically custom railings and stuff, because otherwise you're stuck with the default vanilla ones, and they look a bit rubbish. So what I did was I used curb props and build custom bridge walls and bridge railings out of them. I really need to look on the workshop for some more bridge railing sort of things, but it's probably going to be a while till I get some more, because news is that the new DLC is coming out. It's to do with concerts, but the only problem is when a new DLC comes out, the game breaks, and this happens a lot. Last time for me was pretty bad. I can't remember what DLC it was, but it did break my my game, and it was bad. But Skib has told me a technique he used last time to avoid him having to he still managed to play the game even though it was broken for other people who had updated, because what he did was put his game into only update when launched, and then goes offline on Steam and launches the game. Therefore, you don't update, so it doesn't break it. That's what hopefully I will do this time, if I can remember. But knowing me, I will mess up one day and end up downloading the update and then not being able to play. But we'll see. Hopefully I can. Hopefully I can. So now I'm using procedural objects. I'm not very good at procedural objects. Still not very good at all. I need more practice, and also the mod needs updating. It's the amazing mod, game changing. Even in its current state, it is pretty game changing, but it needs a lot of tweaks. Like the UI is awkward, the way the controls work are awkward. The new Gizmo update is great, but it's also awkward. Maybe, I mean, it's not just me. I do have a lot of problems with it though, but a lot of other people are having like issues where it's just very awkward to do, which is a bit of a shame, because it is such a great mod and you can use it for so many things, but it does need a lot of tweaking. That's just hope that it will be updated and improved, and I no doubt that it will be. So here I am. I'm creating the like the custom wall. Well, I guess the bridge railings with procedural objects, and it looks okay. It's the best I could do. Probably not the best I could do. I could do better, but since you can't really curve procedural objects, it is very difficult to get them to look nice. But the way I did it is okay. So I'm going through now, adding a ton of decals. I've kept in a lot of the decal placement for this video, just so you can have a look at like how I place decals and where I would place them. And mainly for this junction, I looked at Google Maps and decided how the best way to put them in game would be. So I look at a junction on Google Maps and see the lines, see how that would work in City Skylines. I don't always do it exactly the same as it is in real life, because it can look weird in the game. It can also be impossible or very difficult to add some of the lines that are in real life. I can't really think of any examples, but it can be difficult. So as this like time-lapse goes on me placing lines, this part of the build was done on a live stream, and I seem to say that in every video, but this part was, you may have noticed in the drop of quality, because I can only live stream at 720p, and I tend to live stream most of my my builds nowadays. It's just, live streaming is so fun. It's so good. I get to talk to the people in chat. I also get to talk to the people who join onto the Discord and talk. It's great. It's great fun. You may have noticed in the cinematic at the start that I used like a different median in the center, like in the main median of the junction. Now those came out a couple, I suppose it probably would be a week ago when this video comes out. King Leno made them, and they're great. They're amazing. They look so good. I tried to use them in as many places as I could, but I could only really fit them in one area, because there aren't enough shapes really to fit what I want to use them for. What they're mainly used for is like outside a business or something. There would be a curb and in a parking lot or a car park. Now, I want to use them for so many different things, but they look so good and they fit in quite well with this area, this quite urban, like Japanese style area. Now the colour has changed of the video because this was done on another day, where I'm finishing up some extra lines that I hadn't added in during the live stream, just adding a couple of things. I'm still really not 100% sure on like my LUT and map theme. You think I would be pretty happy with them, but I really like Satellite, but the map theme I'm currently using is very old, and it's like, I think it's Cedar Valley 4K, which is just so old, but I just like the look of it. The one thing I don't really like is the lines in the concrete, mainly because that limits some things I can do, because I know a lot of people do like them, because they add a lot of detail in an otherwise blank area. But I just find that they just take away a bit when I'm trying to add things a lot manually. But I like the rest of how the theme looks. Like, I like the colour of the grass, I like the like gravel texture, I like the ruin texture. And before you say theme mixer, theme mixer, theme mixer, I'm not going to use theme mixer because, for some reason it doesn't work with this collection. I've had it in the past and I just have an error every time I load it up. And 2, I can't use Ronix's decals, the ones that work with your theme, and those are very useful in places. So I'm not going to be using theme mixer. So if anyone can suggest any good map themes, it's got to be very realistic looking. Preferably a darker, like green grass, not light green. I'm thinking about trying Clara, that map theme. I think it's Clara or Clariera. It's Creative Dex's series. His LUT. But obviously mine would look different because I would use Satellite and I wouldn't use his color correction. Because I just find Satellite looks the clearest and the most realistic. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make the game as realistic as I possibly can. And for those of you who have made it to this far into the video, I'll just talk a little bit about like the annoyances I had, I suppose, with recording this, because I'm still using my terrible old GPU because my newer one broke and my new PC hasn't come. So you may have noticed decreased frame rates, some weird like lags, spikes that happen during the cinematics, and just general decrease in quality, which I'm not really happy about, but there's nothing I can do until I get a new PC, which hopefully is soon. Still no ETA on that, but it will be soon. So I'm sorry, but it has decreased, but I wanted to still keep making videos, because otherwise this channel will probably die if I stop making videos for like 3 weeks, because I think it's already been a week and I'm probably not going to get it next week, so it would probably be the next week after that, so which would be about 3 weeks. So I hope you don't mind that it's just a bit like laggy in spots and the quality isn't as high and it looks a bit grainy in places and not as clean and crisp as I'd like it to look. Because I'm looking at everyone else's either videos or screenshots and stuff and thinking, oh, they look so good. They look even better than when I had my other, well, technically newer GPU that then broke. But I just have to grit my teeth and just wait for it to come. And hopefully all will be well. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
What we do here is go back.
Loud.